Star Toby Summers igniting the field here today with look at that. They're all up there as well. A lovely photo as we cross back to Brad and the GixRs.
Yeah, lights on, ready for GixR action, brought to you by Ctas, Washdyke and Clark Fountain, the West Coast Warrior. Got a great little jump off the line. He will lead them into the S's. There goes Zach Fuller around the outside, and Jesse Stroud looks to be back there in fourth as well. So we'll catch the update as they head down into Castrol. Clark Fountain, Zach Fuller, then go to Shane Miller, and then Jesse Stroud back in fourth place. Some great start there. Curtis Boyd, a better start this time around. He had a little off last time round and had a red flag, so he's already up there in fifth place with Justin Maunder there in sixth down the back straight. Slipstreaming, the name of the game, as they fire down the back straight. And we see Zach Fuller already sneak up on the slipstream and go inside Clark Fountain, and lead change we have. So Zach Fuller now into the lead as they head down to the northern end of the track. Zach Fuller in charge now, and Clark Fountain back in second. So this was a great little fight. The three of them with Jesse Stroud in there as well, and already the three of them out the front at the moment. Catch the update. Zach Fuller out of the hairpin ahead of Clark Fountain, then go back to Jesse Stroud, then the 20, that is Shane Miller in fourth place with Justin Maunder there in fifth at the moment as we see it into the bus stop for the first of this 8 laps, brought to you by Ctas in Washdyke here in Timaru. And already Clark Fountain around the outside, got enough room there on the track, so Zach Fuller will lead them into the S's. Clark Fountain still in second with Jesse right there in third as well. So this is a great little podium fight we've got again for the GixR boys. These three have been hammering tongs all weekend, and nothing to suggest this 8-lapper won't be just as good with Shane Miller on the back end of this group as well.
Well, we certainly know that the pace is down. That's an absolute given. You go to a bike that's 13 horsepower out of the box, you put a mid-speed titanium exhaust on them that they're all allowed to have, and you can put it on the dyno and maybe crack a 15 or a 16, whoopee. But more importantly, everybody is the same, and we've got the policing to make sure that they're staying under the constant rules. We've got great support from Suzuki because change of models have done a little bit to enhance some other features of the bike, like the position of the foot pegs, for example, has just been one. So the others on the older bikes are saying, well, can we do the same? And that's the kind of thing that's always being debated. So can you get that little bit of an advantage but still stay within the rules? So when you've got production-based racing like this, you've got to make it fair. We find our technical team are always hard at work. And to Steve and the crew, Larry, man, I have so much respect for those guys because they can do it as gentlemen. They can do it with a good discussion. They don't have to raise their heads. They can actually be the peacemakers rather than the policemen. So well done to those guys, because that's why you've got all these on the racetrack, because they all know they're playing on a level playing field, and that's what you want, fairness. For the GixR Cup, these fantastic little Suzuki 150s, they retail for around 3,500 brand new from your favourite Suzuki dealer like Gould Motorcycles here in Timaru. And then after that, you go and give the riders their leathers and their helmets, you put some good fairings on them, you give them the mid-speed titanium. The bike is available through your Suzuki dealer for $5,995, so under $6,000 for a brand new bike. You've still got a bike that's worth something to sell to somebody else, because they want to have a go in the class as well, and you go and you have the season racing, so you can get so much out of them. So what a great way to get into motorsport, one of the cheapest forms you'll find, and it's right here with the GixR Cup. The other thing about GixR's is it's got a bottom end for our young riders, but it's also got a top end as well, so the 21 plus year olds are moving on and going to do something else, because this is just fun for teenagers and we're loving it. So bring it on with the GixR Cup, and our huge thanks to Suzuki, a way of life. And Suzuki, of course, proud to sponsor the Suzuki series, as they've naming rights to that prestigious series, but also from the point of view, of course, of what about that record, 12 championships in the last 13 years. The GixRs dominate our New Zealand Superbike Championship, and they've certainly done so again right here this weekend. So bring it on with Suzuki, a way of life.
A quick update out there. We have Jesse Stroud now in the lead. Jesse Stroud out in front with Clark Fountain second, and then go back to the 4 of Zach Fuller with the 20. That is Shane Miller right there in fourth place, and just trying to catch an update of who we have in fifth. I think that was Justin, the 17 of Justin Maunder. So awesome stuff there from Justin. They head into the S's. And Jesse Stroud, he set a lap record here yesterday with a 1:25.7, so already a 1:25.72, so 1/100th of a second off lap record pace already with this big 8-lapper, so bigger than the 5 lappers they've had previously. So we'll catch an update as they head down the back straight, but it is definitely that full-on four-way fight like they had in the first one. And hopefully Shane can stay on for the duration of this one. He was right in there in the fight until he had an off in the hairpin last time around.
Well, Ctas are a service station network, and there's two of them here at Washdyke and King Street, so you'll find them right here in two dominant places on State Highway 1 as you're going through Timaru. So go and support those people because they're supporting us. Hey, it doesn't matter where you fuel up, you've got discount cards from so many of the players, as well as the fact that they've got the Fix-It and service shops as part of them as well. So if you're going to another service station, well, why not? Come and support somebody supporting our sport. So many of you have been travelling this weekend, or you've got places to go in the future. Make sure you top it up at Ctas, Washdyke and on King Street. Proud to be supporting racing with Ctas and local service stations behind local sport, looking after local people from local clubs, putting them on the world map. As we thank Trust Aoraki and the Timaru District Council for being behind our sport. We love them. I hope you do as well. Let's go racing, everybody, in the GixRs with Brad.
Here we go, they cross the line, so that's going to be 4 laps to go. Jesse Stroud, Clark Fountain, Zach Fuller, then Shane Miller and Justin Warner in there. That's your top 5 as you see it. 6 for Caleb Stroud with Curtis Boyd and Liam Whelans. That's an awesome little three-way fight there for 6th, 7th and 8th. Hamish Simpson, Luca Durning rounding out your top 10 there with Lucy Dowman and Sarah Humphrey still out there. Here they come now through. So just a great little 12 riders out there at the moment.
So, hey, oh no, Lucy, sorry, has Michael not had, what's happened for Michael? Here's Lucy in front of Michael. Is that Michael? No, he hasn't even picked up a lap, but he appears as if he'd started, otherwise he'd be shown as a DNS. So maybe he's one of the riders just off the side of the track. Well done to Lucy. Man, it must be so satisfying as well when you take an opportunity to look out. Thank you here to Nicole out of mxt.co.nz. Of course, when you go on to MXT, you get that Ctas page as well, so you can follow the race. Of course, you can then go on to an app called Speedhive. And if you've got a smartphone, put the app in, Speedhive, all one word, SPEEDHIVE, Speedhive, and it's your link to A&B, which is the computer system used. And when you go there, do you want to follow NASCAR? Do you want to follow Formula 1? Do you want to follow Superbikes or MotoGP? Yes, you can see them. You choose the country, you follow the part of the sport that you follow, and then you click on it. Obviously, New Zealand with road racing this weekend, and on reflection after that, whether it be tonight or sometime during the next week, like I do after an event, go on and click on all the buttons and then just have a bit of a reflection of that racing. So you will love it. Speedhive or MXT, a great place to go to. Quickly, Brad, for the GixRs, I know you're following them. Let's go to our points for the series. On 101, Scott Moyer. Second place to Alistair Hugenboozem on 84. Sloane Frost is on 77. 80 points. It was Damon Rees. He's in 4th place on 77. Wow, I didn't realise that. So there you go. He's 24 points off the lead, but I'm sure he'll fight back with that. Dan Mederman fifth, followed by James Hugi, Livio Zamperi with Jake Lewis and Mitch Rees are your top 10 for Superbikes, and obviously Mitch isn't going to get any more in this series. 250 production. 96 points to Leon Jacobs and Angus Boyd on 66. Wow, that's 30 points already. Yeah, what about it with our Supersport 300? Jacob Stroud on 90, Harry Parker 72, Jack Condon on 54, Reese Lindsay there on 52. That's great. Supersport 600, here it is, the proof for you. Toby Summers 75, Avalon Biddle 66, Seth Devereaux 65. So they're just some of the points we've had handed to us here already. So super exciting as we watch our series unfold. 2 of the 5 rounds have gone, so we're going to be in for some excitement with still 3 magnificent rounds to go. Hampton Downs Moto Fest coming up first week of March. Last week of March to Manfield, to return after a 5-year hiatus out of New Zealand Superbike Road Race Championship events, and the final at the beloved Taupo Bruce McLaren Circuit, and that hits us on the first weekend, 6th and 7th of April.
And there we go, we've got the update with the GixRs. Jesse Stroud with a big advantage. It's about 5 bike lengths, which is about as much as you get in the GixR class. Then we go back to Clark Fountain, who's coming under pressure. Zach Fuller had a little look into the S's, but wasn't quite close enough. Then go back to Shane Miller and Justin Maunder, who are having a battle for 4th and 5th. So we'll have a look down the back straight and see them. The slipstream, the name of the game, as we see Zach Fuller, he's pulled out pretty early, but he's right up alongside Clark Fountain, so they're side by side as they head down. I think he's got a wheel in front, but Clark will still have the inside line into the John Jones steel left-hander, so we'll have to see what happens there. I think Clark's going to have enough here. Clark just has enough of a line to hold on to second place at the moment, but Jesse Stroud will be loving this because these two will be dicing, and he'll be able to use his normal line through there, and he's got about a 5 or 6 bike length advantage as he heads into the McKissick curve. and heads up towards the hairpin. There's the 3 of Clark Fountain and the 4 of Zach Fuller right in behind him. That's looks to be the 20, Shane Miller, right there in 4th place as well, with Justin Maunder in 5th. So this is your top 5 as you see it at the moment, and there we can see a GixR just leaning up against the wall there. So that would have been the Michael Dowman entry. So Michael's bike there parked up in the hairpin, so we can see what happened there. There we go, Zach Fuller in the bus stop and throws it in. So change for 2nd place. It is Zach Fuller up into 2nd place, and Jesse will take the white flag. He's got 1 to go, and he's got a massive advantage as far as GixR Racing is concerned. So Zach Fuller 2nd with Clark Fountain in 3rd as well. So this is going to be a big run to the checkered flag.
Wow, in fact, we just said that advantage for Jesse. I think you've called it right, Brad, but just as you say that, Murphy's Law says he didn't get round the corner as well. The others have fought it. Now look what we're seeing from Zach Fuller, because Zach's gaining on him, and he'll want to get all that slipstream. He's back to about 2 more bike lengths. All he really needs to then use the slipstream. So what slipstream is, of course, for the people out there not understanding it, is you get them behind another rider and you get the vacuum, you get drawn by them. It's a bit like being a motorcyclist when you get behind a big truck and you've all of a sudden think, wow, this is so easy, because you take the wind away. If you've ever seen the Speed series with the great Guy Martin, you'll find out about how he was able to go so fast on a push bike, because literally they put a massive wall up behind a truck that could go along at 60 mile an hour and see whether you could pedal that fast. But there was then no wind resistance. And because the air's buffering, you almost want to see it in a wind tunnel and see what the air does. Now, there's a point where the air turbulence actually becomes a deterrent. But when you're getting along behind, because the air then goes over the top of the first rider and then builds a turbulence, if you can get close to that, there's a backdraft of that turbulence, and it helps to literally push you along as well. So let alone the fact that there's a pull effect, there's a push as well. So down he goes, Zach Fuller. Wow, I thought they were going pretty hot through there. Look at that, and he's okay, puts his hands up. Good on you, Zach, because that's what the officials want to see. They know that he's okay, and can he quickly get back there and get his bike out of the way? I'm sure he can. Oh, man, he went in there so hot, but there was an opportunity to do, and nothing ventured, nothing gained, Brad.
Yeah, him and Jesse just went in. There was two into one line there, and unfortunately just run him out of room. So, unfortunately, Zach Fuller, he's down, crash on the last corner of the last lap, so he'll be devastated, and that is some big championship points there for Jesse Stroud. He got the full 25 ahead of Clark Fountain back on the podium, and Shane Miller now on the podium as well. So that's your podium: Jesse Stroud, Clark Fountain, Shane Miller, and then go to Justin Maunder. Caleb Stroud with a brilliant 5th place as well. Curtis Boyd finishes in 6th. Liam Whelans in 7th. Hamish Simpson gets through for 8th. Luca Durning 9th. Lucy Dowman in 10th. So that is all the finishes there, with Lucy Dowman rounding out the top 10. So unfortunately there, that is a DNF for Zach Fuller. So losing out on some good championship points. And we'll have a look at the fastest lap of the race, a 1:25.686 from Clark Fountain. So that is a lap record as well. So a lap record for Clark Fountain as well. So brilliant stuff. GixR Cup 150s brought to you by Ctas, Washdyke and King Street, and also brought to you in conjunction with Suzuki New Zealand, bringing us the GixR Cup and supplying all these awesome parts and accessories to keep these guys racing. We'll head down to Neil, who will have our podium.
Well, I don't want to hear the words again, it's only the GixRs, or it's just a GixR race. The versatility of this class is the fact that we can quickly get them out. They've done a great job in the Suzuki series of filling a gap. So when there's been an incident with one of the other classes, and all of a sudden you're going to give those guys a bit of a breather, get their tyre warmers on to keep the program running, you whip the GixRs out. So we've seen their versatility, and in fact they play a useful part in the race program. But look at that. There was Zach Fuller, and there was no way he was going to give up. There was only 2 corners to go, and with the second last corner he gave it a go, lost the front end and went out on the infield. So, mate, he put everything on the line. The checkered flag was there and waiting. The man in the flag already had the checkered out. He was waiting for those guys. There was no other lappers between him. It was do or die. It was all on the line. So these guys are laying it on the line. It's not just a cruising out there. It might be a slower speed than some of the other classes, but what's the definition of racing, and how good were they? So great to see. Hey, we're delighted, courtesy of Ctas, Washdite and King Street, to do our podium here at the moment, and it's just fantastic to have our lineup with us. Well, we've certainly seen that we've had Clark and Jesse, we've had Zach up here as well, but what a great occasion, because here on this occasion we've got Shane Miller. Well done, Shane, you finally joined us up here. What does it feel like to stand there right now?
Yeah, it's good to be back after the crash in race 2.
Yeah, very good. All right, how did the bike go that time?
Yeah, it went pretty good, yeah.
All right, did you watch Zach? You got a grandstand view of that, didn't you?
Yeah, I know I kind of didn't want to push any harder because I thought I didn't want to risk falling off a second time. Yeah, it worked in my favour, I guess.
Yeah. All right, indeed. What's your ambition for racing now that you've got into GixRs? What do you want to do?
Hopefully wanting to set up, but I don't know, funds-wise it's probably not likely.
Funds right, but hey, this is affordable and you carry on with this for a couple of years maybe, it's no worry.
Yeah, I'll probably be doing the Tri-Series next year.
Yeah, well done. Nice to have, and there we are, a new man on the podium. That's what we want to see. So, congratulations, Clark. You've made it here again. Really starting to solidify your points in the top 3 for this class now. Was that a good race?
Yeah, it was a really good race. It was really hard fought. You know, I got a really good start, and yeah, I was kind of hoping for it to rain this last race, but it didn't pull through. But yeah, I just pulled through in the end, and yeah, it was a good race.
All right, indeed. So what's it this year? Back to school? What are you going to do for some training and other things before we see you again? What's happening between now and Hampton Downs?
Yeah, I'll go back to school and yeah, see if I can try take more time off for some racing, and yeah, I'm just running and push biking and walking the dog and stuff. Yeah, just chilling out at home.
Yeah, nice to see. What do you think? What's the how do you know when you're getting fitter? What is it when you can push harder and you feel like you've still got more energy? How's your fitness feeling?
Yeah, it's feeling good. I've been riding a 250 as well, and I'm feeling really confident on the bike at the moment. Yeah, it's pretty hard keeping up with Jesse. You know, he's like a really good young rider, and Zach as well, and it's unfortunate that he crashed, but yeah, it was freaking hard luck on him, but yeah, good race.
Yeah, beautiful words, Clark. And to young Jesse, the little pocket rocket you're still doing, do you think you're still learning every time out there, Jesse?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's a great class to just learn racing, and it's just so hard racing with these guys and so competitive. It's a shame about Zach. Yeah, it was a good last lap, but fortunately he went down, so I suppose that's racing. Oh yeah, I'd also like to thank Dad, Mick Ruane, Ian Templeton, Shuzi and Lizard Racing, and Steve.